According to the Regional Education Committee, the Region 6 Department of Education is prepared for the reopening of schools on Monday, November 9th. Details in this report. A national decision was made by the Minister of Education, Ms. Priya Manikchan, to reopen schools for all senior students in the secondary levels to adequately prepare them for their CAPE and CSEC examinations.
Only grades 10, 11 and 12 the schools will be reopening for. Primary school will still be done online, and concerns were raised about the effectiveness and whether diagnostic tests are being done, and concerns about the attendance, right? Because how do you really measure the attendance of students online? So there is a fear that, it may not be captured.
That was the chairman of the Region 6 Education Committee, Mr. Hasif Yusuf, highlighting which students are expected to turn up to school on Monday, November 9, 2020. Mr. Yusuf further revealed what systems were put in place to ensure the safety of the students.
Washroom, hand washing, and adequate sanitizing and janitorial supplies, markings to enforce social distancing, and they guarantee that all these things are in place, and by yesterday, that is, most of these things would have been in place. And officers will be visiting all schools, and officers will be assigned to each school to check what's happening. Infrared gadget will be used to test temperatures and so on.
The regional chairman, Mr. David Armagan, disclosed what final preparations are being made.
You got to get them in front. So when students come in, they wash their hands and so on. So what we got to do, we have to do some improvisation now. And so these wash basins that have to be put in front, you got to be able to put tanks. In other words, a little trestle there now. So it takes some time and it costs some money. And so by Monday we should be able to get all these systems in place to make sure that all these tanks are positioned next to the wash basins, so that as soon as children come into the school compound, they can have their hands and so on properly cleansed. And there are some schools that already has that facility, but there are some other schools that we have to put into right now. And as I speak, work is going on some of these schools to make sure that we will have all of them ready for Monday morning.
At the recent education meeting, several concerns were highlighted, and Mr. Yusuf shared what recommendations were made to ensure that students follow the guidelines.
We have recommended that there be more training in terms of the SBA, and concern was raised about transportation, students crowding in areas, public areas after school, and what can be done also to avoid the crowding within the school. Someone suggested, a suggestion was made to engage the PTA to supervise the students. And also another recommendation was made that probably the prefect system can be used to assist the teachers with the monitoring in the school to ensure that the COVID guidelines are being adhered to.
In addition to reopening the schools for CSEC and CAPE students, PIC and TVET students will also be expected to return to school. Narima Ali, Channel 8 News.